Hello and welcome to Funky Fox Gaming. Now today I'm going to start a long play of Stellaris. Now those of you who've played this game before will be aware that these games can go on for quite some time. So what I will probably end up doing is skipping ahead where I'm just building my empire and nothing interesting is happening, and just focusing on the story points and any wars and such that happen. So from time to time I will probably pan out and show you where my empire is starting and any expansion points I've made in that time. So for this playthrough I'm going to do, well, not completely random, but as random as I can get it. So randomize the empire. I'll keep it at 600 stars. Quite like elliptical, means you don't get stuck. Yeah, I will have 4 to 9 AI empires. I think most of these look okay. Yeah, and I will keep it on Iron Man mode, just so I can't go back on myself. So let's start this up. Please don't be slavers. Please don't be slavers. Let's see what I've got. So I have xenophobe fanatic militarists. So I'm going to be very warlike, but it does mean I can expand quite easily. I am the Confederacy of Tiller. My civics are functional architecture, which reduces the cost of buildings. Cutthroat politics, which reduces the cost of edicts. I prefer tundra planets, and I'm agrarian, which means I get extra food, which is good. So, in the eons since the first primitive, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, communities took shape on the windy plains of Tiller, our civilization has spread and prospered. Technological progress has been swift, but as our numbers grew, the civilian population became increasingly restless. With our world on the brink of anarchy, the military stepped in to restore the rule of law. A new order was established to safeguard our nation from all threats, both external and internal. Now, after the discovery of the hyperlane network, the finest minds of Confederacy of Tiller have finished development of the first hyper drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. So let's have a look at our system. Oh, so I'm right on the edge, which means I'll need to try and push out quite far in either direction and towards the centre if I can, as long as there's nobody else there. I seem to have quite a decent amount of resources to start off with. Let's just start off these areas. So I'm going to pick up the energy. Let's go for the unity and coil gun. So I'm going to send my science ship back here first, just in case anywhere can go there. So my shipyard. Let's go for some defense first. Although admittedly that has just used up all of my resources. Maybe I should cancel that actually. Let's get rid of you, get my things back. And we'll get you building posts upon that. What's my home planet like? Not too bad, 17 squares. Few decent spots to unlock, yeah. Fairly happy with that. Let's get started. Now normally as soon as I can I will build a couple more corvettes, mainly because I know, especially in the recent update, pirates come thick and fast, and if you don't build something soon they will kick your ass. So it's going for the science first. Yeah, that will help with the energy, so yeah, I will build on that. Now, one thing that this game changed compared to, well, I say this update changed compared to how it used to be, expansion. Now, it used to be able to expand just by building an outpost or sending a ship out into space to colonize a planet, and where possible it would link up your borders. Not so much the case now. You still build outposts, but it literally just covers that one system rather than a possible cluster of systems. So you have to spend quite a lot of influence to expand
System
your borders.
survey complete.
Oh, we have our first system surveyed. Let's go this way. So yeah, expansion is a lot more difficult and a lot more costly. Another thing that changed was your star bases. So you can basically tailor them. Not every single one can build military ships. You have to turn it into a shipyard. If you have two home systems right next to each other, you might choose not to build ships on one of them. And they could just be purely defensive based if you've only got one hyperlane into it or something like that. Use it as defense. It's tough to get used to. Oh, and I have a tundra world right there. That's good.
Construction complete.
Ah, so now I can build a research station. Get myself some more physics. So once I can see that turn to green, I'll have a look at what the planet is like. Now, one thing that they finally improved was the look of the borders. There was always a difficulty, especially if you had two of the same colours right next to each other, of actually telling where your border ended and where the next one started. They've now fixed that by having a thick green line there. Well, green in my case, because that's my colour, but a thick secondary colour to show where your border finished. The discovery of alien life. Just noticed the name of the ship. The TCY Leafy Warbler has made a startling find on Zimatulon 3. I will apologise for my pronunciation of all of these alien planets, but there we go. The planet is teeming with alien life. For the first time in history, we have encountered life forms that did not originate on Tilla. This amazing discovery has silenced those who believe we're the alone in the universe. Although none of the alien creatures found on Zimatulon 3 are sapient, it is likely only a matter of time before we encounter beings that are. So for that I gained 6 society research, which is good. So let's have a look at what this planet is like. So there's no extra details there. Oh, it is pretty good for energy and minerals though. Definitely will have to colonise that sooner rather than later. Contact report. Simple forms of life. The Confederacy of Tilla is abuzz with news of an alien organism discovered by the Leafy Warbler some time ago. I think that was about a month. While far from intelligent, there is life out there. An inescapable reality and a deeply unsettling prospect. Oh yeah, because I'm xenophobe.
Construction complete.
So, think straight away I'm going to show you what I mean by having to build outposts to colonize. Any planet you colonize has to be within your borders, so you essentially have to build an outpost where you want to sell. You have no choice in that. And it's a pretty decent source of energy, which I will need going forward. Okay, so that's going to be a while before I need to build anything on there. Do need to build something on there, but the most important thing I think will be getting a couple of more corvettes just for defense. It's not too bad while I only have one system in my borders, but pirates will spring up somewhere next to me. They always do. There's normally one jump outside of your borders, so once I've got that, it'll rule that one out. So how much do I need to build one of those? 145, so I can only afford one at the moment, so I'll need 290 total, so that'll be a while before I can build two. Oh, my scientist has gained a level, which is good.
Construction complete.
So this is now within my borders, and I'm actually, rather going for the energy, I'm going to get some minerals first, because I need more of them.
Anomaly found.
Oh, let's just pause it one moment. So anomaly found, ooh, that's 40%. We'll leave B for now. And traditions. Let's start this back up again. Now, call me a sucker, but I will always go for expansion first, just because it makes a lot of the expanding part cheaper. And it improves my core system capacity. And increases the speed of colony development, which is good. I need that at this point. Ooh, we've got another planet there. It's Savannah though, so that's no good to us. Ooh, and I now have enough to build my corvettes. No, I don't. I can't number. No, I don't. All of my construction ship will now have to wait.
Incomplete.
So I now have an adequate defense. Oh, and I forgot to get an admiral. Let's bring one in. Experience gain, sensor range +1, or lifespan. Let's go for that. Slight improvement. Or whopping 4 attack, but it'll do. Oh, and there's a tundra world over here. So after I scan this one, I'll send it over here. And I will probably put that in my borders as well.
Anomaly found.
20%. Yeah, let's go for that one. Now, another thing they changed was your garrison. Now, you used to have to build defensive people. You don't anymore, it just does it automatically as your system grows, which is good. Do I want that? No, I'll go over here first.
Construction complete.
Then I can decide which one I need, energy or minerals, later. That's you done over there. Let's... Oh, I can't yet because I need to scan. Let's just send you home for now. Right, what have we got here then? Automated shipyard. While conducting their survey of Arrakis 2, the TCY Leafy Warbler detected the remains of an automated shipyard in orbit. It at least had 1,000 years old. I'll say that again. It is at least 1,000 years old and seems to have been subjected to a heavy missile barrage, but but one of its manufacturing bases is still in working condition. Sciences Officer Kaku Invu, is confident that power can be restored to the shipyard, but it would be a significant project.
Situation log updated.
So what does that give me to do? Repair automated shipyard. So it needs a construction ship in order, which is good because my current construction ship is doing nothing. So let's send you here. Contact report remnants. Intelligent life taunts with pointed absence. Reads a popular newsnet post on Tiller. The people of the Confederacy of Tiller are apparently finding some humour in the fact that lower forms of alien life are now a matter of public record, but potential equals from other stars continue to elude us. Science Officer Imvu's report on the traces found on Arrakis 2 seemingly only add to an ironic twist to the situation. Seems that people on my homeworld are a little bit aloof with our science exploits.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Aha, so we now have
System
an increase
survey
in energy
complete.
storage and an upgrade to our power plants. Let's improve our research speed. And you're done over there, so let's send you over here. Where there is a tundra world. Only 13 spaces though, which is nice, considering the desert world there's 22.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Ah, multi-unity is up by 2, which is good. Let's go for the heritage site, which gives us the unity.
Construction complete.
157. How much does this cost me? 76. So I should have enough for both. Then I ought to consider about clearing some of these. I've got 3 food extra at the moment, so I don't need to clear that one, so I think I'm going to clear this one. Oh, and it's only energy, so I can do that right now. Now, those of you who haven't played this before, it does seem a little slow, and it is a little bit slow to start off with, this Stellaris, but it does tend to pick up thick and fast in the middle, especially when you start to encounter other civilizations. Unity. So, capital buildings now produce 1 additional unity, or Starbase influence cost reduced by 10%. Let's go for the unity.
Special project complete.
The Storm Inherit has successfully restored power to the automated shipyard over Arrakis 2. The facility immediately resumed its interrupted construction order, using what materials it had on to hand to build an advanced frigate of unknown design. Unfortunately, the ancient facility broke down completely afterwards and has been deemed beyond repair. We have sent a crew to the new ship and pressed it into service with our fleet. Ooh, so I've got a new ship. Not fully surveyed. Encountering Hishma, which is... Where is Hishma? Oh, down there. We have encountered some form of alien vessels in the Hishma system. These strange objects have been flagged as beta menace. Because I'm xenophobe, everybody's a menace. Until we can learn more about them, we should proceed with caution. So let's just have a quick look to see if I can see what they are. Oh, this is going to be another civilization. It seems fairly close to me, which means they must be there somewhere. Ah. Tiller is in uproar following the news of an unidentified ship sighted in the void. Their intentions unknown, it would be prudent to assume the worst. Worrying. So let's find out who they are and where they are, more importantly. Because if they're there, that means I'm going to have to really push forward that way so I don't get blocked in. How far away is this? Oh, nearly done.
An alien empire wishes to communicate.
Oh, and it is another xenophobe race as well. So, they are the Favarian Assembly of Nations, and they are fanatic xenophobe materialists. Attention, alien creatures. Unfortunately, I was chosen by the chairman, not even going to try, to represent the Favarian Assembly of Nations in all diplomatic dealings with your primitive civilization. Cheeky buggers. We intend to unlock technologies your feeble minds cannot comprehend. Do not interfere. I think I am just going to call them alien scum. So, our first alien encounter. The news that we've encountered intelligent alien life for the first time is shaking our society to the core. Leaked footage of these bizarre creatures is spreading through media outlets across the Confederacy of Tiller. Many citizens have been gripped by panic. Rioting has been reported in several cities on Tiller. The strange Xenos appear to have achieved a level of technology similar to our own, and they are clearly spacefaring. Whether they regard our great species with fear, hatred, or cold indifference is anyone's guess. Oh, and they are right next to us. That's not good. Oh, and they started there and pushed towards me as well. Yeah, close borders. I will do the same. Oh, yeah. Because I'm xenophobe, automatically closes borders to others, so that's fine. Definitely need to pull that one up though. So, rather than building that, I think I need another science vessel. Because I need to explore.
Construction complete. Anomaly found.
I'm going to have to leave that be for now.
Construction complete.
And that is my other science ship. Right, let's get you building on here. Get me some more minerals. Need a science officer.
System survey
Research
complete.
speed, no, let's go for experience gain. And let's send you up here. Well, he's done his job there, let's put you here then. Another tradition. So I now have the option of influence cost reduced by 10%, which I think I may need to go for, considering how close I've got someone next to me. Courier network, which gives me the tradition costs increase is reduced by the number of colonies I've got by 20%. Or a new life, which means that whenever I settle a new colony I get an additional population. I think I'm going to have to go for that one. Now, because I've got closed borders, I don't really need to worry about that because everybody has to use hyperlanes to start off with. It's another big change they made. You used to be able to choose between the 3 high planes, wormhole and warp. Now everybody starts off on high planes. And I believe that the other two are things that you can... Well, warp is something you can discover technology-wise. I believe wormhole is literally just something that you find on the map now. Though from the test that I did, I haven't got quite far enough to discover that myself. The First League. We recovered artifacts from an alien civilization. An ancient alien civilization, I should say. On Stellaris Ep1. If what we have learned from these artifacts is correct, this civilization was some sort of confederation that consisted of many different alien races. They call themselves the First League and appear to have coexisted in relative peace from some 2 million years ago. Though this Stellaris system lies in the region of space that seems to have made up of a core of their territory, a partial map found among the artifacts indicates that this First League may have covered a significant portion of our galaxy before its eventual collapse. So this should give us...
Situation log updated.
Yes, so there are 6 different artifacts which have been 6 different systems that I find, and if I find them all, it should show me where the home system is, which should give me something pretty decent. So what's this one then? Ancient life pod. Wish I could read today. An abandoned life pod was detected in close orbit of Gate Ep1. It's covered in scorch marks, presumably from when the pod's mothership exploded. And preliminary scans suggest it was built more than 5,000 years ago. The crew of the Stormy Nereid managed to open the pod, revealing the withered remains of a reptilian alien clad in a resplendent uniform. Clutched in one of his claws was a small picture of another individual from the same race, possibly a mate or a revered leader. That gives me 60 society research, which is pretty nice. Oh, they're looking at the same system. I definitely need to take that one.
Construction complete.
Right, you're done there. Let's send you over here to build ASAP. League prison complex. So it's in the same system. The ruins of a large prison complex have been discovered on Stellaris Ep5. This hostile world seems to have served as some kind of maximum security penal colony in the First League. As a federal facility, the prison housed convicted felons from across all of League space. Surviving records indicate most of the prisoners were guilty of piracy, terrorism, and other crimes of extraordinary nature. Fossilized remains of some of the prisoners can still be found where cells used to be.
Situation log updated.
So I can now research this as a special project, but it's normally a really high level, so 4 or higher in this case. You get ones that are 5. Now you can see what I mean about the border expansion. It literally just covers the one system, but by putting that there, it does block them coming through.
Construction
they would have to
complete.
go all the way around to get to my system unless
Anomaly found.
they declared war on me. Yep, that's only 10%, we'll go for that one. Pirate treasure. This asteroid appears to have been used intermittently as a base by a band of alien pirates roughly 1,000 years ago. A small boarding party entered the base and managed to recover their abandoned treasure hoard. It consisted largely of stolen trinkets and artifacts, but some of it still appears to be of value. 214 energy credits, not too bad. Signs of battle. There is clear evidence that a massive space battle took place in close orbit to Parsecs 5A, must be a moon next to a planet. At some point in the last 5,000 years, the surface on one side of the moon is pockmarked with craters from stray weapons blasts, and scans from the stormy Nerit have picked up several hulks on the ground. Though these wrecked ships are all in very poor condition, the fact that anything remains at all after the damage they must have sustained is a testament to their advanced design. Science Officer Yalunga is preparing an expedition to sift through these derelict hulls for any valuable technologies. That's a Mount Graveyard expedition.
Situation log updated.
Let's track that so I don't forget about it. In fact, level 3 or higher. And he's in level 2. Now, to start off with, I generally just try and claim systems I desperately need and then fill in the gaps later, so I'm not bothering with that one straight off. I need to save my very few minerals for systems I need to take. Aha, another tradition. So I now have the courier network, new life, or the new one is starbase capacity increased by 2. I don't really need that right now, so let's go
System
for
survey complete.
New colonies. Oh, they've expanded up. Oh, and there. Oh, and see how the good tundra wells are
Anomaly
in
found.
their space? That's not fair. Comet sighted. A fierce plume of flame sears the heavens of Tilla as a comet skirts the upper atmosphere. The sheer power evident in its cosmic trajectory has made a profound impression on the capital's populace. They liken the intractability of its path to the inevitability of the Confederate's ascension to the galactic supremacy. Ooh, happiness +5, not bad.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
So my physics lab now, let's have some improved deflectors. Gigantic skeleton. What was previously thought to be an assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere of distal 1A have been identified as the massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that distal 2 could have supported life on that scale at any point in its moon's history. Science Officer Artem Yalunga has prepared a special research project to delve further into this mystery.
Situation log updated.
That is also a 3. Still a 2. Ah. Oh, and I have my first faction. Have a look at those in a minute. So let's get you started on the giant skeleton first. And you can explore this system here. So, Battle Brethren, aggressive diplomacy, conquest and traditional supremacy. So they want me to start in this tree here, which I probably will do once I've finished.
Construction complete.
They want us to conquer alien planets to make that green, which makes them happy. Failing to allow for unrestricted warfare will displease the Battle Brethren. pirates have finally shown up in that little space there. What a surprise. So they're only 189, so I'm going to just ping my fleet straight there. Although I might just halt that and find out where they're going to fly off to. That system there.
The enemy is targeting one of our stations.
Just taking out my shields. There we go. Fleet to the
System
rescue.
survey complete.
Should make it just in time. Yep. Made very light work of those.
Special project complete.
Ah. Our continued studies of massive skeleton remains on Distal 1A have managed to shed some light on how the creature ended up on the moon. There are very faint residual energy readings that indicate some kind of dimensional portal existed briefly towards the rear of the skeleton. Science officer theorizes that the creature passed through this gateway from another dimension, only to quickly perish in the hostile environment of Distal 1A. Why it did this and where it came from are questions that may never be answered. So that gives my science officer 200 experience and 97 physics research. So while you're on a roll, let's go destroy the pirate base. And both my science ships are finished, so let's send you up here. As you can go to the graveyard exposition. No. For several months now, we've received scattered reports of a small number of alien mercenaries and privateers operating on the frontiers of our space. They call themselves the Lavis, and are apparently exiles from a nomadic warrior culture inhabiting overcrowded space stations in and around the Tios system. Their passage near our space proceeded without incident, but they warned us against trespassing in Tios. There is no lavish central government to speak of, but their various factions are engaged in constant infighting and often launch raids against neighbouring star systems. Indeed, given their vast population and space-based production capability, the Lavis would likely be a significant galactic power if they ever stopped killing each other. How pretty. Outsiders. We are the Lavis. Unlike the civilized star nations of the galaxy, we have no single master to lord over us. But I have been chosen to convey this message to you on behalf of all the houses. Do not try to impose your soft, effete ways upon us. You may freely send your alien ships into Lavis territory, but do not expect them to return. Our warriors will welcome the diversion, however. Transmit on this frequency only if you wish to offer tribute, or if you have need for mercenaries, as well as the means to pay for them. So where are they? Oh, they're over there. That explains why they pushed my direction.
Special project complete.
The team under Science Officer Artem Yalunga has finished their expedition on Parsax 5A and returned to the stormy Nerit. Sadly, the wrecked starships on the surface were too badly damaged to recover any useful technologies. These vessels were clearly very advanced, however, and we could gain valuable engineering insights if we analysed the way that they were designed. We should consider the construction of a permanent science outpost in orbit. So that gives the system +3 in engineering. So it's definitely one place that I need to take myself. So I think it's probably about time building a construction ship. League Naval Base. The wreckage of what must have been a major First League naval base has been detected in orbit around Dastaman 2. We know the League maintained a massive fleet called the Grand Navy to combat piracy and safeguard member nations from external aggressions. This particular outpost appears to have provided berthing for one of its RimWorld patrol fleets.
Situation log updated.
This is 5 or higher, so it's going to be a while before I can look at that one.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Ah, my mining network is improved. Let's go for powered exoskeletons. That means that I'll get extra minerals. Ah, my collar ship's done. Let's send you here.
Our science ship has been ambushed.
Oh. Critical failure. Small squadron of ancient combat drones appears to have been abandoned in orbit of Dracus 3 after some long-forgotten battle. As the active sensors on the leafy warblers sweep over them, the drones power up and enter attack mode. I think I'm going to lose that science ship.
Initiating tactical retreat.
So you can escape. Can he escape? It's going to be very close. Nope.
Construction
Oh, he did. He made it.
complete.
So I'm going to go for the courier network, which reduces the cost considering I'm about to colonize another planet.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
First Tillinesi colony. Our first colony ship has gently touched down on the wide, empty steppe of Zimatulum Prime. The chosen landing site lies between a large ridge which shelters it from the cold wind, and there is an open body of fresh water not far away. The ship has been permanently converted into an administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull. As colonists begin to disembark in large numbers, the first Tillinesi city on an alien world.
Battle is joined.
Abandoned amusement park. The structures on Keb? Let's go for Keb. Keb Daran 3A are not as old as we first believed. It seems to be a playground or amusement park of some sort. The science officer notes that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from, and that to the builder's alien eyes, this might have been a cutting-edge sensor array, or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, to us on Tillinesi, it looks most like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. So that gives me society and engineering research.
Construction complete.
And that is the drones destroyed. The final rest. By what has to be beyond astronomical odds, the leafy warbler actually managed to pinpoint the source of the odd signals as it soared past through the asteroid belt. tiny alien construct. A simple scan reveals that it is some sort of ritualistic container holding the remains of an alien spacefarer. So I could let the coffin continue its voyage or open the coffin. Let's open the coffin and get more
System
out of it.
survey complete.
I'm sure that won't come back to haunt me whatsoever.
We have established a new planetary base.
Okay, so I have colonized new planet and I'll pause it there. Let's just quickly swap those two over. Get this place going a little bit. And we'll get to the start of the next month. So the Iron Man mode saves it. Right, let's pause it there and pick it up again next time. Thanks for watching.